Now on Nightside, an officer fires his gun in Spirit Lake.
The breaking details live from the scene.
The rain is just getting started across the inland northwest. I'll tell you about a soggy morning commute and a series of storms in the first alert forecast.
Plus, a Spokane child killed by the family dog. What we know about the attack. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. That new information just breaking out of Spirit Lake tonight. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. Police and SWAT teams rushed to an incident in Spirit Lake, just about a block away from school tonight. We know an officer fired his gun. Peter Choi is there on the scene with the details. And Peter, what have you learned here in the last hour?
Yeah, guys, here on the 5th and Jefferson Street in Spirit Lake, an officer and deputies are currently investigating the scene. There are multiple law enforcement vehicles in and out of the area in front of the apartment complex. The police respond to an incident this evening. Then the shots were fired from an officer. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says no officers were injured in the shooting. Now take a listen to what Sheriff's Office had to say.
And now, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, Coeur d'Alene Police Department are on scene of a officer-involved shooting in Spirit Lake. All officers are okay, and at that time, that's all the details we have right now. It's still an active scene and under investigation.
Do we know if there's any victim from this shooting yet?
So far that we know that there is one suspect, but that's all the information that will be released at this time until further information is gathered.
Yeah, so there's no threat to the public at this time. It's currently unknown who was shot and exactly where the shooting happened. The Sheriff's Office says there's no active threat to the public at this time again. And of course, it will keep you updated as more information becomes available online and in Good Morning Northwest. In Spirit Lake, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Peter. Firefighters say they found 27 dead cats while responding to a kitchen fire at this house in Spokane Valley today. It happened on North Avalon Road near Trent and Evergreen. We did ask Scraps and the fire department. Neither have said if the fire caused the cat's death.
New details on a story we brought you first last night on Nightside about a dog that attacked and killed a child in North Spokane. Police say they arrived to find the child was attacked by the family's dog. And despite first responders' best efforts, the child died. Family members severely injured that dog while trying to protect the child. Then officers euthanized the dog at the scene. One next-door neighbor says she's heartbroken.
It's hard to even know that, I'll never be seeing him outside again. I'll never, hear him laugh. Nothing.
SPD says all of this happened inside the home and was not related to trick-or-treating. Information on this child will be released by the Spokane County Medical Examiner at a later date.
Well, we now know that the Millwood fire that killed 2 young children Monday morning was caused by improper disposal of cigarettes.
And because fires can easily start like this, we spoke with Coeur d'Alene Fire about smoking safety. About 20 million people in the U.S. smoke, and many of them don't know how to properly put out a cigarette. Coeur d'Alene Deputy Fire Marshal Craig Etherton says it's actually pretty common for people to place their ashtrays outside. And they usually put it to the side, out of the walkway, but that means it's often next to combustibles like trees or bushes that can easily cause a fire. So it's important to not place your ashtrays where branches, twigs, or leaves can fall into it. Coeur d'Alene Fire also says they often see people throw their cigarettes in a plastic container like an old coffee can, but plastic can pretty easily catch fire as well. So what is the best type of ashtray to use?
You just want something that's non-combustible, so metal, ceramic, right? Anything commercially made to be a ashtray is probably designed for that specific fashion and for ensuring that there's nothing combustible in it that can get caught up and perpetuate that ignition sequence.
When inside, Etherton says to keep ashtrays away from curtains, beddings, and sofa.
Well, this is the time of year when we need to be weather aware. A lot of changes in the forecast, and it's getting very cold at night.
Yeah, and especially with all this rain coming our way overnight, Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker tells us how long it's going to be with us.
Well, this particular round is going to be with us through the morning commute and beyond. We're zoomed way in on our Doppler radar because I want to show you that it is raining throughout the entire Spokane area right now. The further west you go, those darker greens, the heavier it gets. gets, and it's going to get even heavier as we get toward tomorrow morning. We'll zoom out over the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. The pink indicating a rain-snow mix over the higher terrain. There's up around Mount Spokane and some even heavier rain just north of Medical Lake. We do have the possibility of some rain-snow mix in some of the far northern valleys where temperatures have dropped just below freezing. But if it does start out with a little bit of snow at your house and you're down below 3,500 feet, you will turn over to rain as a warm front makes its way through. Our forecast radar starting off at our current time shows that rain is actually going to pick up in intensity overnight and will be some of the heaviest rain right around the time of the morning commute. So you may run into ponding water on the roadways, especially through the I-90 area, and those storm drains clogged with fall leaves may also cause some backup and ponding on your neighborhood roads. As we get into noon tomorrow, those showers become a little more spotty, and it looks like we could even get some breaks in the wet weather right about the time kids are getting out of school. But it's going to be raincoats and boots to start the day tomorrow. A high of 47, which is close to average, and we're above freezing to start the day, so you won't have to worry too much about icy spots on the roads. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
And with all that rain, Chris, now is a great time to download the 4 News Now weather app, where you can watch the rain move in on our interactive radar. Keep up with the forecast near you. Just search KXLY in your app store to download it now.
Well, tomorrow, a Latah County judge will set a date for when he'll review all of the investigative genetic genealogy, or IgG, collected by the prosecutor and the FBI in the University of Idaho murders case.
The goal here is to determine what should be shared with the defense, what should be kept secret, and what could be shared with you. Lawmakers for Brian Kohberger, the man accused in the murders, are asking for details about how investigators used DNA discovered on a knife sheath found at the crime scene to track down Kohberger. The state argues the defense does not need that information, saying the IgG was not used in any of the warrants used to arrest Kohberger or the warrant for his DNA. And the state also says it won't be used during the trial. The judge says Kohberger is entitled to view at least some of the IgG information in preparing his defense, even if it may ultimately be found to be irrelevant. Well, now that Halloween is over, you might be starting to think, what am I supposed to do with the pumpkins on my porch? We have a few ideas for you here. If you know of a zoo, or maybe an animal rescue, or a farm, maybe a neighbor who has chickens. Apparently, pumpkins make great toys for animals. You can also leave them in your backyard to feed squirrels, birds, and deer. Some gourds can even double as a birdhouse.
After it's been used decoratively in the fall, you could take this guy, hollow out a little hole in there, and let the birds actually make a nest inside it.
If you're feeling a little unmotivated, you're in luck here. One of the most effective ways to repurpose your pumpkin apparently is to compost them in your own garden. Just maybe don't have a conversation about it with your neighbors. And if you turn it into mush over the winter and add it to the garden in the spring, it will help your flowers bloom.
Okay.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks sitting in first place in the NFC West, but things are about to get a whole lot tougher.
Yeah, the Seahawks will take on the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Julian Minnesota is in studio now to tell us about that tough road ahead for the Hawks.
Yeah, tough might be an understatement for Seattle. It's going to have some pretty tough games moving forward. According to DVOA, the Seahawks have had the easiest schedule of any team this season. Now, DVOA stands for Defense Adjusted Value over Average. Now, it calculates the down and distance success of every NFL team, and the Seahawks have played 3 of the 5 worst teams in the league so far, according to those rankings. That's going to change. Half of the Seahawks' remaining schedule is against teams in the top 10 in DVOA, including the Ravens, who are first. Head coach Pete Carroll says this weekend is going to be an absolute battle in Baltimore.
They're just so well-rounded, and they're just good in all phases, and so they make you realize what it's like to play in a championship matchup. I mean, that's what you expect the teams to be like, and man, they got it.
And kickoff against the Ravens is at 10 a.m. on Sunday. We'll be watching closely. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesota, 4 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Julian. A University of Washington lecturer who's been trapped in Gaza since the war began is finally making her way into Egypt and to safety. Ramona Akamura is from Seattle and sometimes travels to Gaza with the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, which provides prosthetics for children. She wasn't the only American to cross the border today. 350 civilians, including at least 5 Americans, were all allowed to leave Gaza at the Rafah crossing to Egypt, after a deal was made last night between Israel, Egypt, the U.S., Qatar, and Hamas. But up to 400 U.S. citizens and their families still remain trapped in Gaza.
Nice that she made it out, though. If you still need to drop off your ballot but don't have transportation, one company is offering a kind of unconventional way for you to get to the ballot box coming up here on Nightside.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, starring Richard Thomas.
I'm Chad Young from the EasyHomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With the EasyHomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com denominated. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
New tonight, YouTube superstar Mark Rober joins Kimmel to teach candy thieves a lesson.
Thank you, Mark, for once again using your powers for nonsense.
Plus, Octavia Spencer and Mike Birbiglia. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market, with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
The most important issue in this mayor's race, crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
All right, thanks so much for staying up with us here on Nightside Election Days. Just around the corner, Spokane County Elections Office is busy processing early ballot returns.
With the mayoral race and topics like public safety on the ballot, a lot of people are excited to have their voices heard through their vote. According to the Spokane Elections Office, today, just over 18% of ballots have been returned. Elections Manager Mike McLaughlin is encouraging the public to get their votes in early so ballots can be processed more quickly and results can be shared as soon as possible.
It's most important to vote. You don't have to vote on every contest on the ballot. If you're not sure, vote on the ones you are sure and return your ballot, because it counts the same. We just want those ballots returned and, to get as many ballots as possible.
Yesterday was the deadline to register to vote online or by mail. So if you are not registered, you need to go in person to the elections office. For more election details, visit our website, KXLY.com.
And if you still need to drop off your ballot, Lime is offering you free rides to do so through Election Day in Spokane. You can get 2 free 30-minute rides by using the promo code Local Elections 2023. To find the ballot box nearest to you, head to KXLY.com/for the people. And our annual Coats for Kids drive is moving on to its next phase. That's distribution. There is a lot of work still to be done before we can get the thousands of coats into the hands of kids who need them this winter.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker was at Alsco this morning, where the huge job of cleaning those coats is just getting started.
That's right. The coats are getting cleaned and we are getting ready to give them out. In fact, if you know of a child who is in need of a warm winter coat, the distribution locations are on our website, kxly.com/coats4kids. Thank you to everyone who donated this year and to our amazing sponsors, Alsco, Chaz, Flying Squirrel, Papa Murphy's, and STCU. We are going to keep all the kids warm this winter. What a fantastic tradition, 38 years strong. Live Doppler radar, we are watching that rain pouring into the Spokane area, and the heaviest rain is yet to come. That is going to be due in tomorrow morning, right about the time that morning commute is getting underway. Let's look at some of the rainfall totals that we are expecting with this system. By tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., we could be close to 0.4 of an inch in Spokane, over a quarter inch in Coeur d'Alene, and even more down on the Palouse. That's where we're going to see some of the heavier rain with this system. Here we go through the day, and by the time we're into tomorrow evening, we are close to 3/4 of an inch of rain in Coeur d'Alene. If this 7/10 in Spokane, if we get even close to that, that will be the wettest day in Spokane in 2023, which is not saying much because it has been a dry year. We haven't had a whole lot of big soaking rain in Spokane. Down in Moscow, Pullman, some of the heavier rain there. Tomorrow morning, if you haven't done it yet, good time to clean out the debris from your storm drains, because that could really cause some problems. We'll zoom in around the Spokane area and look at some of the projected rainfall totals. And essentially, the further south you go, the better chance you're going to run into that heavier precipitation. And the best chance to find that rain will be first thing in the morning. It really drops right about the time the kids are getting out of school. They may splash in the puddles on their way home, but hopefully they'll stay dry. In terms of rain falling, we have a chance of rain every day through Monday and even beyond. Lows tonight will be in the 30s. Most locations, however, staying above freezing. There could be some pockets in some of those sheltered northern valleys where you see some snow mixing in, but if it does, it will not be for long. A lot of rain in this 7-day forecast. Overnight lows above freezing and above average through the forecast. That clock this weekend is to remind you to set your clock back. Daylight saving time ends. Wildlife Wednesday starts in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Spokane Valley wants to get rid of junk or unlicensed cars from your yard. The city council is considering a new ordinance right now. If passed, it would make it illegal for property owners to have more than one junk or unlicensed car on their properties. But people have mixed reactions about this proposal. Jason Waters has been collecting cars for a while now. He has 10 cars in his backyard. Some of them have broken windshields and flat tires. He says he's saving these cars for his sons.
I'm trying to set up my kids so that they have a future, that they have vehicles, because I'm sure that these people that may not be listening to this don't have these kinds of plights in their life, but it could be tough to come up with a vehicle for your kid. They just turned 16. I have a kid that just turned 16 2 days ago.
A local towing company says it sees too many unlicensed and expired tabs on vehicles in the valley, and the employees there say that this ordinance will help the business and the whole community.
Responsible to a standard. It keeps them registering vehicles as they're supposed to, which in turn it makes it where everybody's fair. And two, it also keeps the run-of-the-muck vehicles out of here.
The city council says they will review and vote on November 14th. If passed, this would go into effect 5 days after the city posts the ordinance in the newspaper.
The Department of Transportation wants you to be aware of some slowdowns on I-90. In the Silver Lake area, crews will be closing lanes between the Salnave and Granite Lake exits from now through Friday. Crews are continuing to cut down and remove trees that were burned in the Gray Fire.
A high school freshman invents a possible cure for cancer. Next on Nightside.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me for so done with you, girl.
96.9.
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
people care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system. I believe that.
Brown's actual record, she gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to Lataxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
What do I love about working at Move Fitness?
Every day is different.
Helping people achieve their goals.
It's just a fun group of good teammates. And it's a positive place to work at.
There really isn't a better gym.
Move Fitness is the best.
Join the movement.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
When I speak to families across Spokane, it's clear we want the same things. Our family to be safe, affordable housing, economic opportunities, and good jobs for our children and grandchildren. We want our streets fixed, our river protected, and a compassionate, effective response to homelessness. Families from Indian Trail to Lincoln Heights are ready for us to pull together and build a better Spokane. It feels pretty divided in Spokane right now, but bridges bring us together, and when I'm mayor, we'll build some new ones. I'm Lisa Brown. I approve this message.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Subaru.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Weapons are more lethal than ever before, according to a new study. Researchers looked at data from the CDC that showed the number of victims dying at the scene of a shooting increased from 51% to 56%. That's between 1999 and 2021. Researchers suggested that the jump is because guns are more deadly now, partly because of larger magazine capacity and a growing use of high-caliber weapons.
High mobile phone use could impact sperm count. That's according to a new study that explored the role of cell phones in male fertility. It found men between the ages of 18 and 22 who used their phones more than 20 times a day had a 21% higher risk of low overall sperm count. Men who used their phones 1 to 5 times a day or less than once a week had much higher sperm counts and concentration. Male sperm count has fallen by more than 50% globally in the last 50 years.
Well, meet Heyman Bekele. He's just won a prestigious award for his invention. As part of 3M's Young Scientists Challenge, he came up with a low-cost soap that delivers cancer-fighting drugs via nanoparticles, which work to activate the body's immune cells to fend off cancer.
It's called SCTS, and that stands for Skin Cancer Treating Soap. Its main purpose is to treat minor forms of skin cancer.
Heyman is just 14 years old, and the best part of his soap is how affordable it is. It's just $8.50. Compare that to the price of most modern skin cancer treatments, around $40,000. He is the winner of that challenge and $25,000, which he says he'll use to secure a patent for the soap and help pay for college. But his plans don't stop there.
So by 2028, I actually hope to turn this bar of soap into a nonprofit organization where I can provide equitable and accessible skin cancer treatment to as many people as possible.
Wow. Heyman's looking to conduct human testing on the soap and then eventually get FDA certification. Need to remember that name because he's going to go places.
Of some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you, starting off in Hauser Lake, where Sherry Gwynn, actually this is Susie Corpay, captured this image of a beautiful fawn. The lights still have some green grass there at Hauser Lake. This photo is from Sherry Gwynn at Priest River of a mountain bluebird. Striking colors here, beautiful photo. Sherry. Shannon Verity says there are lots of healthy coyotes out near Tika Frisco, and she said they're doing a fabulous job keeping down the rodent population. Hopefully staying away from the house cats. That's all we ask, coyotes. Nora Jen shared this photo of a beautiful bald eagle, bright blue skies. That's my favorite scene, to see a bald eagle with the blue skies behind them. She says she was able to get close to this bald eagle thanks to her hybrid vehicle that kept her nice and sneaky to get close. Don't try that with too many other critters, though. They'll turn on you. And finally, from Mark Vogt, a beautiful fall buck. Mark says this picture just screams fall to him, with the fog in the morning, backlit by the rising sun, and that stance that buck is taking. He is ready for the rut. He is looking for challengers, and that is fall in the inland Northwest. Kirsten.
Agree. Wow. Gorgeous shot by Mark Vogt. Thank you, Chris. Well, we have one final injury update ahead of Washington State's matchup against Stanford next in sports.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
It just takes one great idea to change your life.
New Friday.
I love being a businesswoman.
I'm trying to build a legacy for my family.
Cheers.
I'm not built to give up, and I'm not going to.
I didn't know I was going to cry right now.
Every Friday in the tank.
I've never seen anything like this on Shark Tank.
New dreams come true.
I totally believe in you.
Shark Tank, new Friday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Spokane's homeless plan is not working. In the last 6 years, Spokane's homeless rate has nearly doubled, while the U.S. rate barely increased. And while many unhoused persons genuinely need a helping hand, others have accelerated Spokane's problems of crime and open drug use. Similar-sized U.S. cities don't have these problems, but Spokane became home to the largest homeless camp in the state of Washington. Why Spokane? Hear the answer at curingspokane.com.
Honey, that was my brother. Can we bring him dinner tomorrow? He's been having a hard time since his accident.
Of course. I know it's been tough. There's so many costs that his insurance doesn't even cover.
I know. The ramp to his front door, transportation, meal preparation. What if something happens to one of us?
We should plan to sit down soon. We can look through the long-term care benefits that we're earning with WA Cares.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
We are Grocery Outlet, and we are your Bargain Bliss Market. What's Bargain Bliss? You know that feeling you get when you find the name brands you love, but for way, way less? That's Bargain Bliss. It's Grocery Outlet's 20% off wine sale going on now through November 7th. We have hundreds of wines sure to pair with any gathering. So act now, because this deal won't last long. Stop in and save today.
Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market.
We got a good football team that's coming in here. And I know maybe the record doesn't show that, but in this league, I've said it many times up here, that doesn't matter. You can throw that out the window.
Washington State and Stanford will meet for the 73rd time on Saturday. The Cougars are favored by 13 points. But as you just heard from head coach Jake Dickert, that doesn't matter. The Cougars have found out the hard way. Washington State was favored against Arizona State as well, and still lost. So the Cougars have dropped 4 straight games, but they are only 2 wins away from earning a spot in a bowl game. Stanford has to win the rest of their games to become bowl eligible, so something's got to give on Saturday.
I think it's 2 teams that are hungry to get a win that, we want to get to a bowl game. That is the standard here, right? We have enough talent to do those things, right? So I think it's them trying to improve their program and us trying to do the same thing.
WSU has won the last 6 meetings against the Cardinal. Washington State running back Dylan Payne and defensive lineman Quinn Roth will miss their 2nd straight game. Payne sprained his ankle against Oregon a few weeks ago. Roth recently underwent surgery for a medical emergency. Now, starting running back Nakia Watson and cornerback Shaw Smith-Wade are still questionable for the matchup against Stanford as well. Watson hurt his leg against Arizona State over the weekend, and Smith Wade has a soft tissue injury. Kickoff against the Cardinals at 6 o'clock on Saturday in Pullman. Just 2 seasons ago, both the Texas Rangers and Arizona Diamondbacks lost more than 100 games. Now they are going to head-to-head in the World Series. The Rangers had the chance to close it out tonight. Diamondbacks hoping to keep their season alive. Game 5 from Chase Field in Arizona. 9th innings where we pick it up. Texas leading by a run, and Jonah Heim hits one through the infield. Now, Diamondbacks center fielder Alec Thomas can't field it. The ball gets behind him as the Rangers push the lead to 3-0. Now, to the 9th inning we go. It'll be the Rangers again, this time Marcus Semien at the plate for Texas, and Semien adds some much-needed insurance. The home run makes it 5-0 Rangers, as they are now 3 outs away from immortality. Now, bottom of the 9th we go. Diamondbacks down to their final out. Josh Sborz at the mound, Ketel Marte at the plate, and the strikeout, and the Rangers, they do it. They win their first World Series in franchise history. 5-0 is the final there. Now, Hall of Fame college basketball coach Bob Knight has passed away. One of sports' winningest yet most polarizing figures died at the age of 83. Now, from throwing chairs to winning championships, there will surely never be another Bob Knight. The General, as Knight was called, was known for his legendary outbursts as much as his decades of dominance on the court. Knight won 902 games as a college coach, leading teams at Army, Indiana, and Texas Tech. But it's with the Hoosiers where his legacy was cemented, winning a school record 661 games and making the NCAA tournament 24 times. The Hoosiers won 3 national titles in his 29 years at the school, and he retired from the college game in 2008. Knight's resume also included leading the USA men's Olympic team to a gold medal in 1984. And we wanted to end the sportscast on a fun note. Former Washington State basketball star Klay Thompson hit this game winner against the Sacramento Kings tonight. Golden State Warriors, they get it done over Sacramento 102-101. Thompson had 14 points in the victory. And with all the, the demise of the Cougs over the last few weeks on the football field, it's nice to see a Coug winning it for his team there on the basketball court tonight.
33 years old, he's still got it.
Yeah.
He's a favorite in my house. My husband actually went to school with him.
There you go.
At the same time. Lucky. We'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
I met Anidas 10 years ago. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him. Fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with Numerica. He's looking to buy his second home also with Numerica.
Expect even more from KXLY Plus. Live updates from the 4 News Now team. Breaking news as it happens. Weather every 10 minutes. Free on your time. Download the app, connect to your streaming TV, and connect on KXLY Plus.
What do I love about working at Move Fitness?
Every day is different.
Helping people achieve their goals.
It's just a fun group of good teammates.
And it's a positive place to work at.
There really isn't a better gym.
Move Fitness is the best.
Join the movement.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive contains ALA to relieve nerve aches and B-complex vitamins to fortify healthy nerves. Try Nervive and try Nervive Pain Relieving Roll-On.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe.
What is... Wow.
Sinex? Breathe.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. There are a lot of raindrops on that forecast. I think tomorrow will likely be the wettest day, particularly in the morning. We're going to put down some pretty good precipitation. Make sure the kids have their rain jackets as they leave the house. And I know you three were listening at 5 and 6 and brought your umbrellas and raincoats, and you don't have to run out to the parking lot or anything, right?
I did bring a heavier coat back tonight and a hat. So.
Did you hear
Just
Julian?
Checking. It was well, no, I didn't hear.
What did you say?
I got a plastic bag.
Yeah. We got kids at home who don't listen to us already.